Yo, what's up? We're back with some more Kaiju number 8, the game. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Fierce Battle, the new limited Fierce Battle. This one is by far the hardest content that we have right now. Now do keep in mind, the new characters do get a buff in this Fierce Battle. And the new Kikoru is absolutely busted. If you look at the buff right here, for each debuff applied to a Kaiju, this unit's damage dealt plus 30%, crit damage plus 15 to that Kaiju, and max damage dealt plus 90% and max crit damage plus 45. And also this, after activating ultimate, all allies attack plus 4%, maximum 15 stacks. And this new Kikoru can spam her ultimate every 2 turns, right? If you don't have this Kikoru, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. I'm already having a lot of trouble on floor 14. But also in today's video, I'm gonna be cheesing the first boss with a 4-star character once again. And this time, it's not gonna be this Baldi, it's gonna be this one. What's his name again? AG Hasegawa. Now, the reason why I'm using him is going to be for the combat skill. He is pretty much a power creep version of the other Baldi because his stun is not on his ultimate, it's on his combat skill. And also he has a very good ascension too. After activating combat skill, has a 50% fixed chance of SP plus 1. So he has the same effect as Reno. And also if you don't know, a stunned enemy takes more damage from crit damage. So if you want to get more damage while also incapacitating the enemy, you can apply the stun. So if you look at this right here, for a set number of turns, blah blah blah. During the stun state, crit damage taken is increased when attacked. Now as for the second team, I'm going to be using this team. It's a little bit risky because my 4-star Hoshina can get one-shotted. He's 5 levels below of the boss. Even if you are level 100, you still take a lot of damage. You'll see in the first team, if you don't have a Sagan, it's going to be very tough for you. You either have to have a Sagan or a Kikoru. Either one can work, but if you don't have both of them, you're probably not going to clear this current Fierce Battle. So we're going to be taunting up with Sagan. If you miss a taunt, just reset. And when it comes to Hasegawa's turn, you're going to be stunning the left dude right here because he's going to be moving next. Now keep in mind, you cannot chain stun a Kaiju. So if they are stunned and they go out of stun, okay, we got one-shotted. So there's a bit of RNG right here. You need to make sure that the boss attacks your Sagan instead of your Kaiju number 8. So when it comes to the taunt, you want to taunt with your Sagan instead of your Kaiju number 8. And the reason for that is because the boss has an adjacent type of attack. So this one deals blunt damage to adjacent characters. His ult also does the same. By putting your Sagan on the leftmost spot means that when the boss attacks her, because she is taunting, you're only going to get hit by two characters, right? So you want to put this character, either your Kikoru or your Kaiju number 8, the one that can tank the adjacent attacks. You want to put your AG Hasegawa on the opposite side of your taunter. First turn, you're going to be using your S1 on your Kaiju number 8, and then you want to taunt the boss with your Sagan. We failed to taunt. If you see this blinking light, means that your Kaiju number 8 is the one taunting the boss. So we just restart the battle. Because Kaiju number 8's taunt is only 1 turn, right? Hopefully we land the taunt. Yeah, okay, nice. We land the taunt on Sagan. Now we can go ahead and follow up with AG's stun on the left dude. You don't want to stun the boss just yet. You want to stun the boss when he is out of the plating. Okay, there we go. Alright, so when the boss does the adjacent attack, look at that. He only attacks Sagan and my Kikoru. Because he is an adjacent attack, right? Adjacent attack only attacks the one on the left and right of the target that you're selecting. Okay, now you're going to be attacking the one on the left. Stun him and also get the... and also break the plating. Okay, now you're just gonna keep attacking the boss to break the plate. The boss has 2 plates of the elemental typing. So if you don't have Sagan, it's gonna be very hard for you to do this content. Okay, when it comes to AG's turn, just use his skill 1. Don't stun the boss just yet. You're gonna waste the stun because the boss still has the plating and he's gonna move next. Okay, there we go. My Kikoru is almost dead. She cannot take one more hit. Okay, now we can go ahead and use Kaiju number 8's combat skill. Get the crit rate buff from his passive skill. And we break the plate. Now we can stun with Hasegawa. Okay, we can go ahead and ult with Sagan. And ult with Kikoru as well. You have to hope that your Kikoru crits. Because if you don't crit, you might not have enough damage. But even if I don't crit the ult, if I crit the combat skill, it's still going to be enough damage. Okay, we failed to crit. Hopefully we crit on this one. Okay, nice. We crit on this one. Now you stun the boss. Boom. Okay, nice. We got a stun. And Kaiju number 8's turn, you hope for a crit on his ultimate because his ultimate does a lot of damage as well. It does like 100,000 with a defense break. Let's see here. I have his ultimate maxed out. You need to have your units maxed out, by the way, for this to work. There we go, 109,000. And let's see. If I crit here, he's gonna die. If I don't, there we go, 69,000. So you bring the stun to get more crit damage off. You can also just run another support if you want to. You can run the 4-star Hoshina, it can work, but if you don't have enough damage, the boss will move, but he won't attack you because he's stunned, right? He will just reapply his plating. So you have about 2 more turns to kill the boss. Alright, the second team is a little bit wonky because I don't have any tank in this team, but I think we should still be fine. And in the second team, you want to have a lot of shot damage dealers because the boss has like 7 plates of shot plating. This is definitely the hardest content that we have right now, and you definitely need to acquire you to have Sagan or the new character. Chester doesn't get that big of a boost. When you ult, you get like more attack. It's Kikuru that gets a crazy amount of boost, right? She gets more crit damage, she gets more damage dealt, and she can help break the plating on the boss very quickly, especially on the first phase. On stage 15, I'm probably thinking I'm gonna have to level 100 all of my characters because level 90, they're just gonna get one-shotted. Even in this stage, my 4-star Hoshina probably is gonna get one-shotted. We'll see. I'm just gonna ult with this guy, slow down the boss a little bit. Okay, nice, we landed the freeze. Okay, we can go ahead and buff up my Reno and ult. Okay, the boss is about to move. Let's see if he one-shots my 4-star Hoshina or not. Also, my Reno is taking a bunch of damage. 1000 damage. My gen is level 90, by the way. He's fake level 90, so his limit break is at level 100. But he does take a lot of damage. Okay, we should be able to break the plates on the boss. Although it's gonna be very tight because the boss is about to move. Wow, okay, even if I break the plate on the boss, he's only gonna be pushed back slightly. Okay. If I can land the ults on my Reno, I should have maybe a couple more turns before the boss gets his turn. Okay, please crit and land the ultimate. Oh, it's gonna be very close. The boss has 4 health bar left. Oh, we kill. Nice. Alright. Because this is 100% crit rate. When he ults, he gets like 15% crit rate if I'm not mistaken. 66,000. Pretty good. Alright, that's floor 14 done. Now floor 15, I don't know anything about the boss. I'm gonna guess the boss is probably level 100.
The next day.
Oh my god, finally! Stage 15, I did it in 12 rounds. 3 stars and without the new Kikoru. This took me, I don't know, I think over 2 hours. There's like a 40-minute footage of me just dying. But let me show you the team. Now this is definitely not gonna be a free-to-play team. You need to summon for some of these characters that I'm about to mention. But if you have the new Kikoru, she's gonna help out a lot because of this first buff. For each debuff already applied to the Kaiju, the unit's damage dealt plus 30% and crit damage plus 15% to that Kaiju. She's going to cycle a lot of turns and she's gonna help you break the plating. But if you don't have the new Kikoru, you're gonna need almost your entire team to be at level 100. Otherwise, they just get one-shotted. Alright, so for the first team, let me just show you the individual units. My gen has Ascension 4 on his weapon, so he is doing a decent amount of damage. He has full legendary gear, HP, effective hit rate, water damage. I just want the legendary stats. Obviously, if you can roll for a better stat, then go ahead and do that. And then I'm also using Chester. I don't think it's doable without Chester. Maybe if you have the new 5-star Hoshina, you might be able to do it, but I have HP, alt gauge charge rate, and speed. And I'm also using the alt gauge charge rate for the Unipart set. I'm using the 4-star weapon on him so that I can give more speed to my allies. My Reno is full legendary gear, attack crit rate and shot damage. His weapon is also level 100, Ascension 0. The skill up is at 8, 7 and 7. And lastly, for team 1, I use Mina over Hoshina because I need Hoshina for the second team to make it consistent so that my Kikoru can crit. So she is on the speed set, Wyvern set, defense, crit damage and speed. If you want a better roll, you just go either defense percent or HP percent. Alt gauge rate and speed. For the weapon, I use AR Octopus on her so that she can get more alt gauge. And for the team 2, if you don't have a Sagan, you're probably not going to be able to do this as well. I have my Sagan on the new Unipart, which I'm going to do a separate video on. But she has defense, alt gauge rate, and fire damage dealt, full legendary. Her weapon is level 80 and her skill is at 8 and 9. You should also level up this combat skill because she is going to take a lot of damage, especially in this fight. And Kaiju number 8, he has maxed out combat ability and level 8 on the passive skill. His combat skill is also going to be very important, especially for wave 1. Kikoru is going to be here for the nuking and also the defense break. I have her on the fungal type unipart, attack crit rate and slash damage. Her weapon is also max ascension. And lastly, I have my Hoshina at level 96 with full legendary set on the Wyvern set. If you can get this boost to speed, that's even better. His weapon is going to be the speed weapon, the 5-star weapon that you can get from the shop. It's also at ascension level 0. And his skill ups is at 11, 9 and 10. Alright, let's go in. This first team is pretty easy. You just need to reroll a little bit so that your Mina doesn't die. If you have a level 100 Mina, then you shouldn't have any problem. But you want your first team to clear it as fast as possible because your second team is going to take about 7 to 8 rounds. Okay, we're going to go ahead and buff up Reno. Since my Gen is level 100 and full legendary gear, he does a bit of damage. But if your Gen is not fully legendary gear, then it's probably not worth it to keep spamming his combat skill. Alright, so this guy did an AoE attack. You just restart. There's a chance where he can use single target attack or AoE attack. If he does the AoE attack, you just restart. He did the single target, so we should be fine. We break the plate on this guy, and then we spam the ult. Also, every time you ult, you get like 4% attack. And it goes for both teams as well, even if you don't have Chester, if I'm not mistaken, because my second team doesn't have Chester and it's still getting the buff. Here, you can just break the plating with your Narumi. With his combat skill, he should be able to get the ult right here because of the follow up from your Chester, and you can just spam your ultimate. Oh, close. Okay, it's because he didn't get attacked just now. You want to focus on one of them to kill off one of them first, and then leave one of the other one alive for a bit so that you can replenish your SP a little bit. This dude should die with my Gen's ult, so we target the other guy and we can start working on the right side dude. Yeah, he's doing 25,000, pretty good. Also, keep checking your buffs if you have the speed up buff on your other allies as well or not. If you don't have your speed up buff, then go ahead and use your combat skill on your Chester. Okay, I think right here I should just ult with my Reno. I'm just gonna ult right here because the round count is gonna be what's making you fail to get 3 stars. You only have 14 rounds in total to clear the whole stage 1 and stage 2. So you kind of want to be efficient, but you also sometimes you want to use your ultimate as soon as possible to clear it as fast as possible. Okay, we can go ahead and buff up Reno again. This should give me the ult. No, okay. This stage is pretty simple. The boss is single target, but sometimes if the boss decides to target you, then you're gonna have to reset, right? Otherwise you wouldn't get the 3 stars. And also, every single time you get your Chester's ult, just keep ulting. Even if you still have the buffs up on his previous ult, just keep buffing because of the action order increase. Okay, we can go ahead and skill 1 and then we can go ahead and ult. Okay, we break the plate with Narumi. He should get the ult. Unfortunately, I don't have enough turns to get my Reno's ult, but I think we should be fine. We can go ahead and buff up to give the speed to my whole team. Yeah, my Reno is not fast enough to get 1 extra turn before the boss moves, but he does a lot of damage, like 75,000 damage on the combat skill. We almost got the ultimate. We can go ahead and ult with Gen. He does pretty decent damage because I have full legendary gear on him. And also his weapon is max ascension as well. If you don't have max ascension on him, it's probably not worth it to use his ult to do a little bit more damage. You might as well just save his ult for when the boss gets a turn and replenishes the plating. Alright, this is gonna be very close. My Mina almost got one-shotted from the AoE attack from the boss. We should be fine. Yeah, you can go ahead and buff up my Reno. Do this. Combat skill, and then we can go ahead and ult. Yeah, we kill. Alright, so that's round 5. So now my second team will have at least 9 turns to work around, right? Now this second team, however, is very annoying because you need to land every crit possible with your Kikoru. And especially if you ever on the fungal set, you're gonna have to reroll more times. But at turn 1, you're not gonna be buffing up. You want to start building up your Kaiju number 8's ultimate skill, because when you max out his ultimate skill level, he actually does like pretty insane damage. I forgot to mention, you want to put your Sagan on the leftmost spot because the boss has a adjacent attack. So if he targets your Sagan because she is taunting, then she will only hit your Sagan and your Kaiju number 8. So you want to minimize the amount of damage that you take. We can go ahead and attack this guy, and then we can break the plate with Sagan. Keep using your Kikuru's combat skill to whittle everyone down, and then once they are below 50% HP, you can go ahead and execute them with Kaiju number 8's combat skill. You can go ahead and buff him up because he is going to get the ult next turn, and his ult should be able to one-shot this guy. Alright, we're good so far. Look at this, Sagan is taking a lot of damage. We can go ahead and break the plate on this guy. Yeah, let's go ahead and break it. And then we can go ahead and ult. We're going to use Sagan's ult first. And then now we can use Kaiju number 8's ult, because that's going to give him more attack and more crit damage. We're going to try to one-shot this guy. Even if we don't one-shot, we're still fine because I have Kikoru's follow-up. Okay, 34,000. Let's see. Is this going to kill? Nice, we crit. Oh, we didn't kill though. We're going to ult with Kikoru. Kill the middle guy. Hopefully we crit. Nice. 73,000. We can break this plate. And then we can go ahead and execute the left dude while we work on killing the right one. Oh, he already died. He died from the fire damage. That's pretty cool. Alright, we can go ahead and execute. We can save up some of the SP, and then we can execute right here. Boom. It's round 3, so we still have 6 rounds to work around. And then right here, you don't want to use your skill 1 on your Kaiju number 8, because if you do, then you're gonna reapply the taunt and the boss will target your Kaiju number 8 instead of your Sagan. So you use your combat skill, also giving him crit rate as well when he gets his ultimate. We can go ahead and buff up Kikoru right here. I guess we can go ahead and ult, because our buff is 2 turns. Alright, combat skill with Kaiju number 8. Nice, we crit 7,000. Okay, hopefully none of my units die. Come on. Nice, okay. Alright, we buff up Kikoru. We ult with Hoshina. Hopefully my Kikoru outspeeds my... hopefully my Kikoru can get the ultimate right here, because when you ult with him, you also... Okay, nice. We do get the ultimate. Now I just need to land a crit. If I land a crit, this should do around 100,000. Oh my god. Okay, it's still doable. It's still doable. Let's see here. If I crit with Kaiju number 8, this should do 100,000 maybe. 92,000. Okay. This one should do 40,000. Alright. Boom. Okay, now we crit. The boss has 6 lives left. I think we should be fine. It's gonna be very close though. My Sagan is kind of getting bullied right now. We go ahead and use his combat skill. We didn't crit. Very good. Come on. If my Sagan can survive, I think I should be fine. Yeah, if we landed a crit on Kikoru, I think this would have been over. Okay, please don't kill my Sagan. Oh, okay. Maybe you can do it. You know what? I think the better move is to not use my Kikoru's combat skill, and we use this guy's instead. Nice, we didn't crit again. Wow, we're getting super unlucky right now. Maybe this guy can pull off a miracle right here. Maybe he crits and kill. I should have probably buffed him up first. Nice, we didn't crit again. But we did break the plate on the boss. So maybe we can have one last chance. My Kikoru is about to move. Does she get the ult right here? She doesn't. Oh, goddamn. This is gonna be very close though. Okay. This is round 8 or 9. I'm not sure. But I think this should kill. Spam ult. Oh, there we go. We killed. Alright, that should be 14 rounds. 14 rounds on the dot. Okay. But yeah, that's about it. This is definitely the hardest content in the game right now. Even if you cannot clear the stage 14 and 15, you're not gonna miss out on a lot of stuff, because it only gives you 30 of the, or 60 of the Unipart materials and 20,000 credits. The other one is also the same, 2,000 credits and 20 of the Unipart resources. So yeah, I like this version of Fierce Battle, and I think they cooked as well from the reward structure, because they put all of the good rewards from stage 1 to stage 12, and stage 13 to 14 doesn't really give you anything, right? So I think that's good. If you don't have the new Kikoru, I would say it's not even worth it to fry your brain to try floor 15, unless you want to really clear it without Kikoru, right? Just for self-achievement. But yeah, I've done all of the content for this update. I'm at 7,000 crystals, and how many tickets? 7 tickets. So I should be good for the next unit. I am kind of itching to summon for Hoshina on my main account, but I think I'm gonna hold off because I already have A2 on my second account. And maybe I might summon for the new Kikoru. I don't know just yet. I think she's alright, but I don't think she's worth it to summon when you have like Chester or Hoshina. So yeah, that's about it. Ciao.